Hello there. Welcome back to Jennie Designs with Paper. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I have a cute, quick card video for you, so get comfy and let's get crafty. I picked up the Honeybee Stamps Dogwood Lovely Layers die set, and I pulled from my stash the hexagon frame dies. I also have this new To Me Cartabella paper pad that I will be using, and I've done all of the die cutting off camera, so it's just a matter of assembly today. So I have all of the pieces of the Dogwood Lovely Layers die set. I did cut the brown branch twice just to give it a little more strength. And these are the white blossoms. I chose to make my dogwood blossoms white, but I am going to add a little bit of pink to the centers with this Altenew blush ink and a little blending brush. Now, in the end of things, the yellow centers to the flower kind of hid that pink ink blending, but that's okay. I live in Virginia, and the dogwood tree is our state tree. So of course I had to purchase the Dogwood Lovely Layer die sets. I am not a huge die cut person. I don't know if that's the right phrase there. I don't have a ton of die cuts or die sets that are not coordinating, let's put it that way, or like for backgrounds and stuff. But these Honeybee Stamps Lovely Layer dies are awesome. I do have quite a few of those. Okay, so here is the branch. I did cut it out of brown cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and start assembly. I started with the blossoms. 100% next time I do this, I will be starting with the leaves. And in fact, I've stuck a little Post-it note into my die set to start with the leaves. So I am going to go ahead and speed up the footage of this assembly. It did take me a minute to figure out which blossom went where and in which orientation. It's not difficult. They have the petals notched out in just the right way so you can tell where they go. I did also have the Honeybee Stamp website pulled up so that I could see the image of the die cut that they have on their website. So that kind of helped me out a little bit too. I got them all down with my Tombow Mono Glue, liquid glue. You know, it's my frenemy. But I'm using my tweezers so my fingers won't be too terribly sticky. I like the liquid glue because it gives me a minute to fidget things around and get them all laid down there quickly. Or lined up properly, rather. Oh my goodness, words are hard, sorry. I had to have a tooth pulled. I know, I cracked a tooth and I had to have it pulled, and my mouth is still a little bit on the not completely numb side. So I feel like I'm tripping over my tongue. So sorry, I sound like a weirdo today. This is where I realized I should have put the leaves on first because they do layer underneath the blossoms. And you could, if you wanted to, put a thin foam square or a little piece of foam tape underneath the blossoms so they popped up a little bit. But I think there's plenty of dimension in the way that the layers go together. Also, it's really hard to see because I cut them out of white cardstock, but these blossoms have some etching embossed into them as well. So the last part of this layer set is to add the yellow centers. And then I realized that last one's not supposed to be down there. It's supposed to be up on the top blossom. Good thing liquid glue takes a minute to dry. So I've cut my card or folded my card base, words are hard, and trimmed down my panel, and my camera lost its mind and lost focus. So I just edited that out because nobody needs that kind of a headache, you know, where you're trying to figure out if it's the camera or your eyes that are out of focus. But we are going to start assembly now. I have trimmed this pattern paper down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and it will be a top folding portrait style A2 size card. I also have this hexagon. It's the frames die from Honeybee, and I have a whole bunch of them cut out of silver cardstock, and I've pulled a couple out of the package to see which size would fit best. I kind of don't want it exactly straight. I kind of want it tilted, so that larger one's not going to work. I did like the smaller of those two, but then I decided I wanted 2 frames kind of a set of hexagon frames. So I'm going to reach into that packaging and just pull out one that I think visually is smaller than the one that is on my card front. And wazam! I mean, I got it first try. There's like 900 of those die cuts in there. I was making a project where I needed a whole bunch of one size one time, and so now there's 100 of the others in there. But now that I've got this, the 2 hexagon dies on there, I'm going to go ahead and start putting the rest of this together. So I am using my reverse tweezers and my liquid glue so that I have a little bit of time to move things around. This did end up going on less unstraight, less crooked than I planned. Also, I think that I tilted the branch the opposite way that I did when I was laying it out. I don't know. I honestly didn't have a huge plan in place other than I like the idea of this framed hexagon die being the background to the branch. I contemplated doing like a string nest, but I could never get those. Where you take the twine and make a little bird nest thingy and put your focal image on it. I could never get mine to turn out looking like, you know, not something the cat spit up. I don't know. I did not. I don't do the twine nest thing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my branch of dogwood blossoms on now. Again, liquid glue, because it's going over. I did think about foam tape. I did think about foam tape, but I didn't want to cut out little tiny pieces of foam tape. This was a very lazy card making kind of day. This is another honeybee stamp. It's actually a collaboration for Ellen Hudson, and it's many years old. This might be like one of the first honeybee sets I ever purchased from Ellen Hudson, and it's the Sending Sunshine stamp set. I will be using the sending die and the shadow, and then I will stamp the word sunshine and heat emboss that with some white embossing powder on black cardstock. And again, I took care of that off camera because I was having focusing issues with my camera today. I don't know. Hands down, I think my kids have been messing with it. And I just didn't know to double check that. So, or I bumped it. It's just as likely that I bumped it because I've been cleaning and reorganizing and putting things away in my craft room, and it is just as likely that I bumped it. I shouldn't automatically blame it on my kids, even though at this point in time, it usually is. So I, somewhere along the line, lost the little tittle to my eye, and it's hilarious. I was talking to my daughter who was graduating from college in July. I'm so excited. And I said, I lost my tittle. And she's like, Mom, I don't know what you're talking about. So I had to explain to her that I was not being profane. I was talking about the dot to my eye. But I found it. It was laying on my desk. So I did cut the shadow to this sunshine or sending word out of vellum. So I have to be very judicious about where I apply this liquid glue because you will see it through the vellum if you're not careful. So I'm also applying that kind of skiwampus or kitty corner or, you know, not exactly straight across the bottom of the card. And I'm pressing that down with a big stamp block just because my hands are getting sticky. And if I put my hands down there and push on it, I'll probably pull something apart. So we'll go with the stamp block this time. I'm going to adhere the sunshine word straight on that gingham background right underneath the sending word. And voila, super fast, really easy, darling, adorable card with those lovely layers dies. I love them. Thanks for stopping by. Here's a couple other videos I think you might like. I've also added a subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and I hope you have a fabulous day.